let's hit it and quit it with a little bit of vintage. So, what are we playing first? Well, first of all, what the hell is vintage? I've never played any of this format on stream before. I've never played any of this format, period. So, vintage includes every single printed Magic card with, I believe, one broad category of bans, which are the cards that are dexterity based, like Chaos Orb, as well as two actual factual bans, Lurrus of the Dream Den and something? Maybe it's just Lurrus. Did the token happen? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah, conspiracies are also banned. Cool. So those are there's two broad categories, and then Lurrus and, oh, Scheherazade is banned. I didn't know Scheherazade was banned. I thought it was just people didn't play it. Anywho, and then there's a restricted list, which contains, I assume, all of the Power 9, although I don't know why Time Twister's on there. But we are playing a good number of those, and we can expect to run into our opponents playing a good number as well. So we have one Black Lotus, one Mox Jet, and one Mox Sapphire in our blue-black Doomsday deck. So Doomsday, for those who have not seen it before, we have not played the Legacy version, which is reasonably popular right now, is black, 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 says search your library and graveyard for 5 cards and exile the rest. Put the chosen cards on top of your library in any order, you lose half your life rounded up. The idea with this card is that after you Doomsday, you set up a 5-card stack where you will hopefully you'll hopefully be able to set up a stack that will cause you to win the game either immediately or within the next turn or so. Thassa's Oracle is the way we are intending to win the game. This is blue for a 1/3 Merfolk Wizard. When it enters the battlefield, you look at the top X cards of your deck, where X is your devotion to blue, and if the number of cards in your deck is equal to or less than the number of devotion pips, then you're just going to win the game on the spot. So if you have 0 cards in your library, even if the Thassa's Oracle gets removed, and you have 0 devotion to blue, you still win the game. Then to tie all that together, we're playing some broken cards. We're playing Gitaxian Probe, we're playing Mental Misstep, we're playing Ancestral Recall, Brainstorm, playing some Flusterstorms, we're playing Mystical Tutor, we're playing Peak, playing Ponder, we're playing some Preordains, Dark Rituals to power out our combo, Demonic Consultation. It's black, choose a card name, exile the top 6 cards of your library, then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card with the chosen name. Put it into your hand and exile all other cards named this way. So this card, we are unlikely to use this for anything other than a 4 of. So Demonic Consultation, I would only really think that I would use this to find a Dark Ritual, maybe a Thassa's Oracle in a desperate state, Force of Will, or yeah, that's pretty much it. Or the Doomsday, of course. We've got Force of Negation, we've got a Time Walk in here, so just trying to set up our combo and win most games as quickly as possible. Sideboard is funky. I don't know exactly what we're going to do with all this. I assume Fatal Push is going to be used to remove things like, I don't know, Lavinia's, Dreadhorde Arcanist. We got Steel Sabotage for our opponent's crazy-ass artifacts that we want to avoid. We've got a Leyline of the Void for things like Dredge. And then we got a package of 3 lands. I can only assume this is if we run into either something with a lot of land destruction. We've got Cavern of Souls, so not sure what that's all about. Not Papa.
Meanwhile,
when you do get back, let me know so I can explain to you the token. Caverns is for Xerox because they're so full of counters. Is that the deal? Tabernacle's also for Dredge. Okay, that makes sense. Dredge and Mentor, sure. There's an island. Our sideboard has an island in it. It's Island, Cavern, and Tabernacle. Alright, here we go. Game the first, match the first of my vintage career period. So what you're saying is you got the edge on me. All right, Slow Bruise. Our opponent was last seen on 4-color Xerox. Is this hand good enough? Not really. But I guess it very quickly could be. Yeah, I just have no idea. I mean, I want to ship it because it feels like it just doesn't have a lot of power in it. This one seems better. Ship the Misty. This is a format where strip mine is legal. So, even your basic lands are not safe. This one's got many redraws, plus a blue source and a Daze, so... Yeah, can't deal with that one. Deathrite Shaman, another surprisingly legal card in the format. And an important one, too, in that it gives decks some pretty powerful interaction. Preordain, let's see if we can clear the top of our library a little bit. I don't really want the Thassa's Oracle, bottom that. I think I'll keep the Scalding Tarn. I could cycle the Street Wraith now, but I don't need to. If our opponent plays something where we feel like we definitely need to Force of Will it, then I guess we'll do that. If we had Force of Will for the Deathrite Shaman, I might have just gone for it, in that I have heard that that is a reasonable thing to do. Likely to see a Renin 6 here, I guess. Exiles for mana. Yikes. My opponent's got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. Leovold. Yeah, that definitely is not resolving. Oh, but I can't. I have the wrong force. Oh, we're so screwed. Well, let's draw a card in response. Yeah. They had enough mana to play through everything. Yikes. Well, resolves. Don't have anything to say about it. Demonic Consultation in my main deck can get me what? I don't think there's any creature removal. There's not. So I could get a Doomsday with that, but I can't cast it, and I can't draw new cards anyway. So I think we might be in gratuitously bad shape already. I can scry too. I'd really rather not. I mean, I guess I don't have a choice. Like, that card is not getting any better. Just literally no removal in my entire deck, right? Demonic Tutor, sure. What do you mean, find one land Oracle time? Are you suggesting that we use Demonic Consultation to exile our entire library? Is that what you're proposing? So maybe I should have kept the Thassa's Oracle? Okay. I did not realize that that was a way we could actually win the game. Obviously it makes sense, but I just did not see it. So we can only assume that our opponent should have forced this D-Tutor because it won't help you protect your combo. Well, yeah. Okay, and these are things that I didn't even begin to consider. Like when they Demonic Tutored, I'm used to people going for things that are gonna kill me, that they're gonna cast, which obviously they didn't because they don't need to. But I wasn't expecting them to be like Demonic Tutor, pass. It's like, wait, what? You're not going to try to kill me? Yeah, I'm sure they got forced. That's what I'm saying. Is like, what I did not expect them to do was Demonic Tutor for sure. But what I did not expect them to do is Demonic Tutor for something defensive. That to me is just like crazy. I've never seen it before. All the decks I've ever seen play tutors do it to kill you on the turn they tutor. Yeah, I mean it's fine. I'm just explaining that like. It does make a lot of... Oh, man. Okay. We'll just go game 2. I already don't like my deck because I have no answers for resolved creature. You can be mad as long as you want, bud. So I think I want Fatal Push. Maybe Tassiger? Maybe Cavern. Okay, and I have no idea what to cut. Yeah. So these all seem fine. Well, sure, but like Tabernacle. I don't think we want Tabernacle against the 4-color control deck. I know they had a double creature draw there, but I don't think Tabernacle is something worth having. Maybe I'm wrong though. But as a one-of that I guess I can Demonic Tutor for it. But I can't even figure out what to cut for the first 3 cards I want, much less the 4th one, right? Guess Force of Negation is not so good. Yeah. No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, all input is sort of equally invalid right now. Nobody knows what we're doing here, so... Alright. I have cut some amount of consistency. Let us pray that we are lucky. Yeah, I guess. I don't know if this hand is good or bad. I literally can't tell you. No idea. Tabernacle is usually for the Dread deck. I agree with you. I mean, I looked at the last game state, though, and they would have been really, really in a bad place if I had had the Tabernacle in terms of how efficiently they can use their mana, right? So, is Wasteland restricted? Can anyone tell me? I guess I have a 4-color Xerox deck. No, it's not. All right. Yeah. Oh. All right. Go top, top, top. Nope. So next turn I have a Lotus, which is not everything I need, but it's certainly better than what I have. You pile top, Wrath, Forcelet, what? Sure, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna force the Ancestral here. Although with what, I'm not sure, because I want to have this Daze in case they have Pyro. Force pitch Brainstorm. But I only have one, it's restricted. How can that be a right choice? It must be good, it's freaking restricted. So if I Doomsday now, could stack a land on top to stack a land on top to Time Walk, then Street Wraiths into Thassa's Oracle. And the land could be the Cavern. No, I'm just gonna jam here and learn, right? I think we jam here and we learn. Woohoo! Alright. So, Thassa's Oracle, Cavern. Street Wraith, Street Wraith, Street Wraith. So this just means I win this turn uncounterably. Okay. Click a card to select it, or click a selected card to unselect it. Okay, so we're finished searching. And I can't, okay, yeah. No, damn it! Alright. No, no, no! Oh! Oh, that's so shitty. Sorry. God damn it. I definitely clicked on I definitely unclicked a Street Wraith, not a Thassa's Oracle. That's bullshit. I didn't even get to learn if I didn't even get to learn if that was the correct strategic play, because Moto is just a choky mess of a client that was like, you clicked a Street Wraith. Hold on, let me change the interface. There's an unselected Street Wraith. Select it now. It's like, what? Alright. I mean, it's my fault, partially. But the problem is, I'm so used to, like, feeling the pressure of time. Because I feel like I'm going to end up tanking and searching deck lists multiple times as we go along. So I'm trying to be clock conscious, although I probably shouldn't be. I don't know. I have a feeling this might be a very frustrating experience. I think we keep this one. Leyline in the blind. Shops, maybe. It doesn't look like shops. I mean, it could be. They're gonna preordain on one rather than recall, because recall is just likely to end up with me discarding a bunch of cards. Okay. Draw the extra force. Really hope I don't need to force twice. We are playing 2 Thassa's Oracles, so we can pitch 1 to force here if we have to. Chalice on 0. Yeah, that's not a problem for me. I have 3 pieces. Son of a bitch! Okay. Wow. Do I have any main deck outs for anything? What the hell is this deck? I have nothing I can do already. How do I have nothing I can do already? I'm playing blue. Oh my god. Unreal. Is this lands, though? This can't be lands. You're not meant to interact, you're meant to combo. It doesn't feel like I can do it fast enough, though. So I guess I should have forced their chalice, because now I have to draw into... No, I can't. I just can't do it. God damn it. Brutal. They still have 2 cards in their hand. They played a Leyline that did nothing. They played a chalice that hit nothing. Oh my god. So you're not useful. You're not useful. I have nothing that interacts with them. I have nothing that even feels like it's a viable sideboard card, but I don't know what they're playing. I know I'm meant to combo, but it doesn't, like, it feels like we're supposed to be playing like combo control here, because we have like a number of like counter spells, but only counter spells, right? Like, as soon as they resolve anything, it's just over. It's so weird. And like, we're dealing with the ultra high variance of vintage nonstop already, because like in the very first match we played, we had the Daze for their Leovold, followed by multiple pieces of counter magic, except they had a Mox that hadn't done anything yet, and the only thing it did was it sat there and it foiled my Daze. I couldn't even use my Daze. Yeah. I mean, I guess that you get through your leagues very quickly. I've got triple redraw, so yeah. This format does feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't time out Blitz. Oh, look, they did it again. Oh. Oh. Hello. No, they don't have one. They do have a Mindbreak Trap, and they have a Grafdigger's Cage? Wow, they are super in on Graveyard Hate. Okay, so none of this interacts with anything that I'm planning on doing, right? No. All right. Choose 0 cards in Reanimator Fiend's hand. That player will discard the chosen card. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, I know I need to play around Trap. Moto is so bad at its job that it needs to have Gitaxian Probe work as if it was a discard spell. That's unfreaking real. I don't even. I'm not shocked and I'm not disappointed. I'm just. That might be the greatest workaround I've ever found in Magic Online. Sure. All right. So I can go Ritual, Doomsday, draw a card, draw Mox, play Time Walk. Right, they still have the Mindbreak Trap. Their hand is Tomb, Grafdigger's Cage. Those cards are gone. So Mindbreak Trap requires me to play 3 cards. So let's just play Ritual Doomsday this turn. Okay. I already have Thassa's Oracle, so I don't need that. So I probably want a Force. So I can Street Wraith to draw Force now. So I want the Force. And then the rest of the cards I want are Gush? Sure, Gush seems good. Yeah, Gush seems good. I already have the Oracle. So we could throw a land in there. Gush, Lotus, Force, Wraith. Wraithing? I guess Lotus is fine. Wraithing. Is that just 2 Street Wraiths? Is that what you mean? Okay. I don't... So for this stack, I don't need this Lotus. Throw in a Flusterstorm. So what we're going to do is stack the Force on top. I could draw it if I need to. I've played a land for this turn. I will have a land play next turn. So maybe I should have a land in here. Don't get a land, you have Gush. Oh, right. But it doesn't... this is so stupid. Ah. Why is this so stupid? I feel like this should be really straightforward. Like, there's just no way they're gonna beat me. But they clearly can. We put the Force on top. Next card is Gush. We can Gush to pick up the... Okay, got it. This is fine. Okay. Put these cards on top of your library. Cool. So, bottom card is a Street Wraith. Then... Flusterstorm, Street Wraith, Gush, Force. Cool. Alright. Good luck, Godspeed, opponent. I was so excited to finally get to finishing stacking my deck so that they could concede immediately without seeing me do anything. It's this close. I mean, being the kind of person that I am, I just literally was like, load up deck, barely understand it, hop into a league. So that is obviously why I'm having a bit of a struggle. Don't do what I do. Please, for the love of God, people, don't do what I do. Six. Well, everyone, so I asked for some Twitter opinions and literally everyone was like, Shops is a trap, don't play Shops. I was like, okay. Yeah, Shops would have been a lot easier, but everyone said don't play Shops. And I was like, all right, I guess you all know. Yeah, I understand that, but like, yeah. Well, maybe I should play Shops after this league. We'll see. Okay, so the next two cards are Street Wraith, so we play Thassa's Oracle. I'll get priority after the trigger. Okay. I had 2 lands in play when I set up to combo. Yeah, I played Pauper at one point. I think it was the first thing I played on MTGO, actually. But Pauper wronged me. Yeah, it was an alright game, Un Astre Noir. But Pauper was the first format to ban Astrolabe. I don't know if I can ever forgive them. It's obviously a ridiculous statement. The problem I have with Pauper is just didn't enjoy it that much. So the deck my opponent's playing is the vintage version of lands? Because even Legacy Legacy lands right now is not lands in my mind. It is lands adjacent, but it is not lands. All right, I think we keep this one. It's slower, but it seems like it could get there. Opponent moves to 5. Misstep and Force of Will seem acceptable here. Can we talk about how sick the flavor text on Mental Misstep is? That's sick flavor text. Your first mistake was thinking I would let you live long enough to make a second. Why do they keep leylining me? Does anyone understand why? Does anyone know what is happening? Why do they keep leylining? Holy yikes. 3 ball. Oh, sure. Yeah. So they have a combo kill. Well. Oh my. Land, ritual, demonic tutor, Doomsday. And we should be able to win next turn. All right. Because what we do, so they're probably gonna wasteland us, right? So we're gonna be on nothing with a Preordain in hand, and then we'll draw a land. We'll Preordain. No. Fuck. So we have access to 2 mana to start the turn. No, just 1. But I can stack Lotus on top, draw the Lotus, so I have 4 blue mana. The next card I will make Ancestral Recall, and the last card I will make Thassa's Oracle. So card 1 is Lotus, card 2 is Ancestral, and card 4 is Thassa's Oracle, and we win. Okay. And the interim cards can be basically anything. Combo! Let's see you jam, sucker, you got nothing on me. Let's see you jam, sucker, you got nothing on me. Let's see you. Let's see you. Okay, we need an Oracle. Okay. And the middle cards are largely irrelevant. But I will have an island in play, so let's get a Daze. And we'll have an extra blue card, so we'll get Force of Will. Or maybe we get an island and a force. Does that work? No, I want... Fuck. If they draw Mindbreak Trap, I think I get wrecked no matter what. I mean, I guess I could slow roll my way through it if they keep their card in hand. I suppose my first draw could be Git Probe to see what they have. So let's see what this ends up with. So we have Lotus on top, and then we cast Preordain, then we cast Recall, we draw the rest of the deck. But the Recall is our second card. Now, we don't necessarily have to go off immediately, but we could stack Git Probe on top of that. So we go Git Probe into Lotus. Lotus into Recall, but the Recall then kills us because we draw our whole deck, right? Git Probe is 5, Lotus is 4, Ancestral is 3, and then we deck out. We could always swap the Recall for 2 Street Wraiths. We're about to go to 7, but we still have enough life total. So our first card, we didn't play around trap. They have no cards in hand right now. They have 0 cards in hand. 0. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing the way I'm doing it. So we stack Git Pro on top. We look at their hand. If they have Mind Break Trap, we'll just have to take another turn to go Black Lotus, Preordain, Street Wraith, Oracle, something like that. Give me 1 second. What if we also want to try to play around Chalice on 0? Can we do that? Probably not. No. All right, I'm going to go with this. Mind Break Trap screws us on one side. Chalice on 0 screws us on the other. Three ball would also be really bad. What if I put an island on the bottom in case we have to go that far? So we go Git Probe, Lotus, Street Wraith, Oracle, Island's last card. I don't think they play removal. Yeah, all right. So last card is Island. Then I guess there's no reason to why do we need Lotus? To kill them in one go? Yeah. The island should have been a Cavern of Souls. I don't think I brought it in. They can't play Chalice on 2. Yeah. Okay. All right, opponent. Knock the top of your deck, buddy. You can't cast that Helm of Obedience that you drew. Yep. Oh no, I never planned for that. Hey, what do you got in your hand? Anything good? No cards? How am I supposed to choose a card for you to discard? I don't get it. Three cards in my deck. Bottom that. Put that on top. Draw. A woohoo! And to say a woohoo! I think the Black Lotus is risky, but not bad. I agree. All right, we're on the board. We're on the board. Oh, Connor, man. None of these things are things that I would say. But I think we did manage to win, and that's good enough. We did pile the things. Our first match was clearly just a warm-up. We had to get all the vintage jitters out. We lost to a Mox that was irrelevant in any other way than that it provided exactly 1 mana. And then we lost to our own Doomsday ineptitude. Not the choices we made. No. The interface. 0-1 to 4-1. Maybe. We'll see. The dream format. Well, the next deck that we're hopefully going to play is the one that I am most interested in looking at, which is the Sultai midrange deck, which is the most fair deck, but we'll see if we can make that happen. I feel like Vintage, unlike a lot of other formats, like playing the fair deck is about like prioritizing the insane bombs your opponent has drawn rather than like overall format knowledge. Like format knowledge doesn't matter so much when your opponent could draw their 1 of Black Lotus and their 1 of Time Walk and their 1 of, you know. Our other queue times were surprisingly short. I'm surprised that this one is now suddenly so long, but there we go. As soon as you complain about it, it will always solve itself. It's like they're listening to us. Janky B is my opponent. So I think I'm going to keep this ridiculous hand. It just gets out of control so easily. Opponent mulls to 5. Feeling good. Oh, not Papa Jr. BX. No, you did not. So there is a token that they are selling or that is in association with some tournament. They've done it before where they had like a weekend unlock of the entire like God Mode collection of MTGO. They did it for Eternal Weekend, I think. And they've done it for everything. Do I force this with the fact that they mold? Or do I force the thing they cast with it? Alright, I'm going to learn and I'm going to force the thing they cast with it. Well, don't do that. If they have a follow-up 3-ball, I'm going to be mad. Alright, they don't. Ooh, I get to see what they have. Hey, you. What's going on over there? What are you playing? What are you playing, Janky B? Oh, it's lands again. What is with this deck? Oh, they're going to cast Golos next turn. Wild. All right. Oh, my. So I could Lotus and Tutor, and none of these things matter because I'm just going to win next turn. It's this weekend. I don't know. I don't know when the next anything is. All I know is that there is currently the ability to access the token again. And I don't know how you do it, and I don't know where you do it, and I don't know when you do it, because I've got a rental service, and I'm not... apparently I'm not interested in whatever event that all the people are interested in. But if I was, I could give you more details. But I know it's a thing. So, I don't know, scour the MTG internets, and I'm sure you'll find find the answer to what you're looking for. So they're going to get Dark Depths, but it's tapped. They don't have enough mana to activate Thespian Stage. So I think we just win this turn. So we go Tutor, Doomsday, Gush. But how do I get the blue mana for the Thassa's Oracle? I can save one along the way, and then I can put Mox Sapphire in the stack. Yeah. And that's it. So Gush takes my stack from 5 to 3. You don't need to, or do that. Yes, I do. I definitely need to. I do not know what you're talking about, Alex. We have Demonic Tutor for Doomsday. Doomsday for a stack. The stack has to involve Git Probe, Thassa's Oracle, and Mox Sapphire. But first, the Doomsday. It's Doomsday, opponent. Doomsday's coming. Did you bring your coat? I live in a giant bucket. All right. So I'll flip the one. So we need Mox Sapphire. We need Thassa's Oracle. We need Gitaxian Probe. Ignore me, I am a banana. Well, we all knew that, but... And that should be it, but we'll put 2 Street Wraiths in there too, in case the card in their hand can remove my Thassa's Oracle for 1 colorless. So, we're going to draw 2 cards. Those 2 cards are going to be Mox Sapphire and Git Probe. Git Probe's going to draw Street Wraith. Street Wraith's going to draw Street Wraith. Street Wraith's going to draw Thassa's Oracle, and we win. Okay. So we're going to stack. So Oracle goes on bottom. Street Wraith. Street Wraith. Git Probe. Max. Okay. Tap for blue. Gush. A woohoo! A woohoo! Hey you, what's in your hand over there? Something sweet? Lodestone Golem. Man, that would have been really terrifying. They really should have played that card. I did it! Yay, magic! What I always thought Legacy was, turns out that that's actually what Vintage is. Vintage is the format where everyone's just like flipping their hand at each other and try to win on turn 1 or 2. Alright, so Steel Sabotage seems okay. Because this opponent's deck doesn't... It seems a lot more landsy... Or, sorry, a lot more shopsy than the previous one. Even though the previous one did end up eventually playing shops. So I would assume Flusterstorm's really bad here. And Mystical Dispute. And that's probably it. Mental Misstep is probably awful. So I could take Hurkyl's Recall over it. Tabby is okay. Shops can't pay for it, but they have tons of mana, Mike. Like, they'll just use some of their other mana. Like that internet mana. like, obviously Workshop can't play for Tabernacle, but also most of their things are not, like, I don't think so. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but usually, like, the deal with shops is they want to play a lot of mana. So I don't... So we have turn 1 Ritual Doomsday, turn 2 Kill, plus we've got Hurkyl's Recall to play through their artifacts and Daze. All right, I'm keeping this. Mirage Mirar. Sure. That does not do anything on its own. Mox Sapphire. That does do something on its own. Mox Ruby. That does do something on its own. Time Vault. Well then. I believe they found infinite turns on turn 1. I can Doomsday, but I can't do anything with my pile. And I can Daze, but that's irrelevant. And I can't Hurkyl's Recall. So we done died. We done died. We did have an out for this. We did have an out for that. But I did not draw it. So... Because if they pay 2 to activate Mirage Mirror, we could have bounced either the Time Vault or the Mirror with Steel Sabotage. But that's fine. As they say, it's a pleasure to burn, right? Well, my opponent had to multiply on game 1, so, like, you know. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. Man, if I had a land... There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So if I keep this... Can I grab a Lotus and then Thassa's Oracle, Demonic Consultation on turn 2? The answer is yes, right? And I force backup? Michael says, aye. Right then. I suppose I'll keep. We'll bottom the Doomsday and we'll just go ahead and win. And we've got to force anything that's going to make our spells cost more. Wow, look, Willie's having his reunion with his parents. So, son, you've returned. Aye. I suppose you'll be leaving then soon. Aye. Quality back and forth made humorous only by its Scottish accent. Oh no! Not Leyline! I don't know why I get such a kick out of these decks playing Leyline as a 4-of. Like, obviously it's a combo piece for them, but, like, I would be way more worried about Rip. Chalets. That stops me every different way, huh? Well, hope that sticks. Whoo! We did it! Yay! Yay, vintage! Just confirming with my eyes, by the way, that Demonic Consultation is in fact an instant, which it is. So play the Lotus, and we are play Black Lotus and Crack, and playing Oracle, and playing Demonic Consultations. What's our card name? Abandon Hope? Abandon Reason, sure. A woohoo! No, Abandon Reason. We know what this format is about. We all know what this format is about. We've not abandoned hope, we've just abandoned reason. We will frequently have to hope. This format is all about the hope. Just a whole bunch of spray and pray. Pick up that AK-47, just blast at the walls. I don't know if I want to compete in a format like this. This format is dumb. Like this format just feels like you force check with your combo deck, then your opponent force checks you with their combo deck, and then you die. What's up, Jiggy Wiggy? It's better than standard. I agree. I mean, I'll keep that one. It's not, I'm not gonna kick that one out of bed for eating a sandwich. You enjoy standard right now. I mean, that's, I mean, I have enjoyed standard on occasion. I just, every time I boot up Magic Arena, I go, eh. Like, I kid you not. That is the literal experience of me every time I boot up Magic Arena right now, is I just boot it up and I go, nah, this is, You play standard on MTGO? That sounds miserable. Like, if I'm gonna play standard, I want to play it on a reasonable sort of presentation. How up to date is my arena account? Not particularly, and that's part of the reason I go, because on here I don't have to deal with that, right? Let's play this out. All right, because on here I don't have to deal with that. I just rent the cards I want, and I pay a flat fee every month, and I'm okay with that. Not miserable at all. No, but I've played standard on arena, and I mean, I do prefer MTGO in general, but it's just so much faster to play arena. Like, I feel like if I wanted to play standard, so when I was playing standard in paper, I would practice on arena just because you could play like 10 times as many matches than you could even in paper in the same amount of time. Okay. Oh, yes, please. So it looks like the opponent's on the 4-color. Oh my. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's true, Blitz, but I was playing since the beta, so it doesn't really like feel like that for me when I play arena, because like my account is already like reasonably stacked. But I completely agree with you. Their economy is shite. So if I was interested in playing standard just for the format of it, then I would definitely want to do it on MTGO. In terms, how's Doomsday feeling? The first match was awful because my opponent played a single permanent that I couldn't interact with in like 2 games, and I went, oh, I have all these tutors, but I literally have no removal in my entire deck. But the rest of them, my opponent's been trying to do unfair stuff, and we've just been eating. Leovold, Emissary of Trest, with 1 mana up to beat my Daze. Is that the name of the Leovold? Emissary of Trest? I think so. Do I go Ritual Dig Through Time? I think we do. Woohoo! Woohoo! Hello? Excuse me, I would like my priority, please. Would like to dig through time, please. Pyroblast. What if we didn't? Force me, you coward. Force me. Oh no. All right. I'm willing to go all in on this thing. Nope. Nope. Wait, what? What? I didn't remember that. That's why I let it resolve. That's why I let it resolve. Because I was like, I'm sure there's I've never really played against a Flusterstorm in a situation where I'm actually able to fight it with pitch spells, and then realize that that's not something that you're allowed to do. That doesn't work. All right, fine. Their hand is also the nuts. I don't know that that's true. They didn't do anything for the first 3 or 4 turns. Yeah, it is amazing that Flusterstorm is like B minus, or no, C minus in Modern. It's not that good in Legacy. It's definitely good in Legacy, but it's not that good. But it feels like Vintage is its format. Oh, that can't possibly be good. Yeah, exactly. I got Force and Will and Pray? Sure, whatever. You can also Flutter a Karn. What? Yeah, I know they're floating 2 blue. All I want to do is make them tap down almost all their mana. No, I'm not expecting Mystical Dispute to counter the Underworld Breach. I'm expecting it to put them in a situation where they don't get to do anything with the Underworld Breach without pitching the other card in my hand. If you're playing against Storm and you spell pierce their Past in Flames, right? So that they don't have any mana after the Past in Flames, then it's essentially as good as countering it, right? All right, see? They let it counter. Tinker. All right. How dead am I? I assume I am immediately dead. Nice top deck. No, they didn't slow roll me at all. They jammed that down my throat. They were just like, bang! There was no slow roll there. Unless you talk about the game loss being a slow roll because Citadel is going to take a while. I guess I should have seen more of that game to try to figure out how to sideboard. I think I'm supposed to bring in Leyline. Yeah. I mean, the reason I conceded is because I felt like I was dead, but I should have stayed in to just see what it was that was going to kill me. All right. The hell do you cut for these ley lines? Is Dispute good here? I don't know. I assume it is because I assume they're a Force deck, but I don't know. They're a blue deck. They're playing a bunch of blue cards. Is Duress better? I don't know. I mean, I'll try Duress. They pyroblasted me that game, so some of their counter magic is not blue. So, all right. I'm literally at the point in the format where I can basically just choose any things that I want for my deck and just hope that I am more lucky than my opponent and sort of learn about the decks in the format by doing that. Turn 1 Brainstorm plus Street Wraith, yeah. I will keep the Zero Lander. This Zero Lander I shall keep. They kept their 7 again. Yikes. Jam Doomsday. I don't have any backup for it. So maybe. What if I Lotus, Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor for something to help me? And then we... But I don't know what I can get there. I guess just Force of Will to pitch my Mental Misstep. All right. And then after the Doomsday, I can Mox Sapphire to play Brainstorm, pick up 3 cards, including a land. But I don't have enough mana to win this turn in the deck, like, period. It's not possible for me to win this turn. I think we're just going to Brainstorm. We'll see where we go there. I could Demonic Tutor for Hardcast Leyline. I think I'd rather tuck the Leyline. Demonic Tutor for what is it called? Infernal Contract? Demonic Consultation? Demonic Consultation. And try to win with that. I really wish I had brought in my Cavern of Souls, but we'll see. Too big brain for your small brain? No, it's not, Michael. You can do this. Okay, I didn't need that anyway. No, I did. Fuck. All right. I don't think I have enough mana to win, do I? Oh, maybe I do. Black. Oh, no, I have enough mana to win. All right. So assuming that they don't have a force, we're good. Yeah, you're right. No. We don't need the Doomsday. We have an Infernal Contract. Whatever the name of the card is, we have it. Come back, Zinc! Come back! Demonic Consultation? Demonic Consultation. There we go. Playing out Daze the whole time, baby. Shit. Alright. They just had it all twice. I mean, like, what are you gonna do? They had it all twice. Like, I couldn't play around everything. That deck has beaten us both times we lost. Although the first time, I think, in the second game, we lost to ourselves. But that time, they kept their sevens both games and just had the nuts. The absolute nuts. I mean, they had turn one Dak Faden. So, you know, it is what it is. Final lap. Do do do. Ba 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 da ba. 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 Boom. Ba. Do 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 do. Beedly bee. Alrighty. So we lost to the 4-color piles twice, and we beat the lands / shops pile twice. It's a very diverse metagame thus far. Simultaneously excited and terrified to try playing the Sultai mid-range deck that has no combo kill. It's just all value. Yeah, this hand is really, really something, huh? I'm gonna keep it. Let's see what these Street Wraiths bring us. Vintage is so weird. No kidding. It's like Cube, kind of. It's like Cube, except that each deck gets, like, in addition to having access to basic lands, you have access to, like, some number of consistency tools. Whether it's, like, 4 of Preordain or 4 of Mishra's Workshop, or, like, there's like a couple cards that are, like, staple 4-ofs that are kind of reasonable. All right, I'm going to cycle double Street Wraith now. And the reason I'm doing, well, at least one. And the reason I'm doing this is because I could draw into my Mental Misstep, which I'd love to have to jam into this Preordain. Nope. All right, results. Play around Force of Stifle. Well, that wouldn't be playable on their turn, right? Force of Will was the original, or the only of the original pitch cards that was named Force of. Yeah. It could be, Mike. Could be. Okay, so I think we'll recall at the end of their turn. Also, if we have to Daze, then get to do that there. I mean, we'll recall at the end of their turn or during their turn while they're sort of tapping for whatever they want. Mount An A. Chrome Mox, sure. Imprinting Red Elemental Blast, sure. Dak Faden, the greatest thief in the multiverse. Ha ha! Buddy in a wood chipper. All right. What if I drew 3 cards? Me. Oh, really? Very well, then. Man, I really don't want to go down on mana with this crappy hand. So I gotta force pitching Dig Through Time or Gush. I guess we'll exile the Gush. And the reason I want to do this in case they have a force, I would like to be able to Daze it. No, alright. Good. Dark Ritual. Mox Jet, good enough. I'll take it. I mean... Let's go, baby! Okay. So... let's put Git Probe... Force, Flusterstorm, Oracle, And second Oracle. Lotus. If I kept the Gush, I would have been able to win this turn. But those are the breaks. Those are the breaks. Oh, Time Walk. There we go. No, there's no Cavern in the main. If I could Cavern, I would Cavern. Okay, so in order, I want on the bottom, Oracle, Time Walk, Fluster, Force, get Probe. Okie doke. It's all on you, buddy. It's all on you. You got another deck fight, and I want you to throw it at me. Double Bolt, die. I mean, if they've got it, right? Oh, that's not good. Okay. Boop. Oh my god. It's so good. Oh my god. All right. I think Duress and Cavern is all I want. Oh, and then probably Steel Sabotage is okay here. I don't know if I want the Duress or if I necessarily want all four of those. Flusterstorm's probably still okay, but how do I feel about... something like that? Sure. I don't hate it. I'm not sure about Mental Misstep here. All right, let's try it like that. There was no salt. But again, I always credit the lack of salt that I receive in MTGO leagues to the fact that I lead every single match.
Meanwhile,
What I've typed here, which is "Hey there, comma, good luck and have fun." In this case, my opponent said, "Hey, thanks, you too." And we know what we're here for.
Meanwhile,
we're playing Vintage. We both know what we're here for. All right. We're gonna roll around like animals. We're gonna get all sweaty and mud. Oh no, sorry, that's a totally different, very inappropriate activity. Fact remains, Michael, it's a filthy, filthy format. Filthy. Put them all to 5. That does not bode well for their deck. Oh, it's a sorcery. Wow. Shows what I know. Huh. I never knew. All right. What? What? I've literally never played with this card. I don't draft it in Cube. I don't play with it when pretty much any time the opportunities rise that I've been able to play Git Probe, I've gone, nah, I'd like to play actual Magic cards. Oh my. Well. I like that. I like that, Alex. Okay. So with the things I have here, I can do nothing exciting yet. We could end of turn Demonic Consultation for like Necropotence, but if we exile it, we lose. We could Demonic Consultation for Doomsday, but because they have a Brain Freeze in their hand, I basically can't Doomsday anytime soon. We got some quality quotes in here, Alex. Quality quotes recorded by you two. Yeah, what if we didn't though? Nope. No. It's a bad opponent. Hey, how's it going, Skullclamp MTG? Hope you're having a good one. Well, I know the one card they drew. Would you like to play your Dockside Extortionist and make this game win much easier on me? Wait, no, they'll still be able to cast Brainstorm. Not the point. Not the point. Happy to see Vintage. Am I happy to see Vintage? I've never played it before, so not especially. But it's been a blast so far. I was horribly tilted in my first match, and then since then it's been quite the interesting ride. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and respond to the ETB by cracking my Black Lotus, the mighty Black Lotus, for the for the privilege of hard casting Gush. Yeah, that'll do. I know the one card in my opponent's hand is Brain Freeze. I know, Michael, I know. Yeah, Skullclamp, it's been did you get it like right before the lockdown, or do you just like did you get it like within a year before the lockdown, but there's just not that much Vintage to be played by and large? Okay. I'm gonna do this thing. I'm gonna do this thing. Eternal Weekend 2018. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I think we'll just go bottom. Another Dark Ritual. Okay. Let's take a walk on the wild side. All right, how cowardly are we? Are we cowards here? Because I want to get Necropotence. Not doing anything else. Woohoo! Who's ready to lose? Are you ready, kids? Well, the other option is get Doomsday, and then even if they brain freeze me, we'll force a copy. Fine. We'll do it that way. We'll do it live. Okay, so we lost a Thassa's Oracle, but I have a second one. So we have to pass the turn now. My opponent has one draw step to find an out to my Doomsday. No, two. Really? I don't think my opponent understands how this card works. Yeah, my opponent does not understand how this card works. Okay, I guess we get a free win. I mean, not necessarily, but the problem is I can just grab the Thassa's Oracle out of my... Oh, they're getting themselves. So they want to draw Breach. But... What was that? Keldon Raider? What in the what? Okay. Okay. Okay, so... I don't know what the last card they have in their hand is, so let's just go cast Doomsday. Make a good stack. Opponent's playing blue-red sweet cards, I guess. So there's my Oracle. It's going to go near the bottom. Boy, I wish... Did I not keep any number of Flusterstorms? If that's true, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I kept no number of Flusterstorms. All right. Didn't know there would be brain freezes to contend with, but probably be okay. Okay, so Thassa's Oracle, and then Street Wraiths are not great here, but Ancestral probably is pretty good. Gush again? Sure. Yeah, I like Gush. And then Lotus, maybe? And then Duress? Maybe we go first card Duress, then we can draw the Gush and win the game with the Preordain. So bottom is Thassa's Oracle. Above that is... Man, that Ancestral is not a... Oh, okay, good. All right. We're going to restack. I want Thassa's. Bunch of Forces. Yeah, bunch of Forces is better. We'll take Force of Negation, maybe? Yeah. So, we're done now. Come on. So we'll go Thassa's on the bottom. Force. Lotus. Gush. Duress. Okay. All right. It's all you, opponent. It's all you. they have a Brain Freeze, we counter one of the copies with Force of Will, and then we'll just, and our last two cards are Lotus into Thassa's Oracle, I think. So we can play Preordain and then play the Oracle. All right, looks good. From downtown. Oh. All right then. Top. Gush is not going to get me to the Oracle, huh? Because I stacked it that way? It gave me Lotus and a Force? I'm sure I could survive another turn, given what their hand is. Famous final words. Okay. Need to draw the last card in my deck. Let's go, baby! They have a Docksized Extortionist and a land. I don't think that there's anything they could draw that would beat me here, but... I guess Extortionist into Brain Freeze would do it. Maybe I shouldn't speak such heresy. You got it. Take your treasure token and go. Opponent's in it to win it. They're not backing down. All right. Is there something I'm not seeing? Force it? Yeah, I guess so. Yay! Alright. Nice little 3-2 on a first run through with blue-black miracles. Yeah. I don't know if this is the deck for me. It's definitely pretty good. I don't know if I love the puzzles it presents. I also have no freaking idea what I'm doing with this sideboard. It was reasonably fun. Necropotence felt a little awkward, but I'm sure it's in there for a reason. Demonic Consultation, I get that one. That's awesome. Mystical Tutor, I never really drew it. I'm sure it's fine just to go for Ancestral. Yeah, it was fine. There's a bunch of choices in here I don't understand, but I mean, we only played against really two decks because I think that last deck was a bit of a lark from our opponent. I don't know if that's like an established archetype of any kind. It's like adjacent to a Xerox deck, but they're playing a bunch of nonsense, which is fine. That's awesome. Good for them. So we are going to swap our cards over and do Sultai mid-range. So if you're live with me, stick with it.
Meanwhile,
the deck list loaded up in Stream Decker already, actually. And so I'm going to switch over to that one so you can call that up. And getting the cards rented. We're going to put on some jams. And if you're checking this out in the future on YouTube, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and let me know if vintage is something you're interested in, at least for the next, I don't know, 2 weeks, while people are trying to qualify for Mana Traders. I can basically assume that I won't, and if I do, good God. What even is this format? Cards are renting now.